Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Pitch Track Chronicles. I'm Uncle Tats. I'm here with Donald, and let's count 1, 2, 3 MVPs for Aaron Judge. And it was not a runaway by any stretch of the means. So we do want to say, look, for this year, Judge is usually on an island by himself. He had legitimate company. Cal Raleigh, you had a phenomenal season. We said it around the All-Star break when the MVP narrative all started. We says you have to put respect on Cal Raleigh's name. I stand by that. I believe Donald does as well. He's going to give his thoughts on it. I have tons of respect for what Cal Raleigh did for his club this year and what he did for himself and what he did for baseball, kind of bringing new names into the conversation rather than every year it's just Judge and Ohtani and then everybody else. But Cal Raleigh had a phenomenal season. It was a very tight race, and not to take anything away from Cal Raleigh, but Judge is the MVP. We feel that way, but we also do recognize that this actually was a legitimate race for the MVP. Donald, how are you feeling?
Yeah, we're not going to fanboy this. To be fair, I wouldn't have lost any sleep if Raleigh won because I think Raleigh was just as deserving as Judge was in his own way. I mean, to catch the way he caught and then put up 60 plus home runs, 60 home runs, and
Which
lead
is
those
not easy for
in
any position.
RBIs is crazy as a catcher, crazy. So full respect to Cal Raleigh. Um, I think he was amazing this year, absolutely amazing. So um, salute to him, but Judge was the deserved winner, and the right result happened, and good for the voters too, because I think it was done fairly. Like it certainly wasn't unanimous. So Raleigh certainly got the credit he deserved anyway by getting the first place votes that he got, but Judge just got more, and it was so. Um, I think I think that it was the right result. Raleigh deserves credit. I know that the Mariners are going to be like, well, he's our MVP and all that stuff. They're fair to
Fine.
do that, but to be fair, I I think that they probably didn't need to say that. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got to give credit to the MVP himself, Aaron Judge. Judge was the deserved winner, but Raleigh also deserves uh, tons of credit, and he's a credit to the Pacific Northwest. So I certainly don't want to be fanboying this, but as for Aaron Judge, the guy's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. He's the best like all round hitter in the game, flat out. Um, and he just continues to put up these kind of years where you almost take it for granted a little bit because he
Yeah.
just does it so often. It's just so routine for him. Like 53 home runs, he can do that in his sleep now. And that's just crazy. That talks to his level of ability. You know what I'm saying? It talks to his infinite abilities that he's able just to put up these crazy numbers. Like to bat 320 uh, in an era where batting average doesn't really get looked at anymore. It's a secondary statistic. He's still putting up 320. You know, I mean, baseball's pushing away from 320, and he's still putting up 320. That just shows how good he is. His OPS numbers was a million times better than Cal Raleigh, like a million times better. That just shows where Aaron Judge is. He's just on a different planet, just a different platform. His slug was miles better. It's just, um, it just shows that the level that Aaron Judge is on right now. He's an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
Offensively, he's an absolutely unstoppable force, and we're very blessed to have him and enjoy him annually. I mean, That 62 home run season from him was remarkable. And then after that, he's just been gone better, which is crazy. Imagine getting better since then, and he has. So um, there's nothing stopping him. He is unstoppable. It's just can we actually put a team around him where he finally gets what his career merits, and that's a championship.
That's something that we say constantly. Is you know you have to get this man a ring. Because what other players would his regular season is every other player's MVP year. So that just speaks to how special he is, and really needs it makes him deserving of all the accolades that he gets. And it's up to Cashman now to get him that ring, and that's gonna be a deeper dive as we get deeper into the offseason and we start to see some movement. But what is moving and is always hot is this chat. Let's get to some of the comments. We got Dev Finch, remember for 12 months. Dev, what's going on? Thank you as always for the support. Also, let's also shout out. We got Doran hanging out with us, John the Beagle Dad. We got Lou. We got it's over. What's going on? Feels like I haven't seen you in a hot minute. We got FJ. We also have Stephen B. What's going on, Stephen B? We got ABX. Jonathan always is the early bird. Actually, John the Beagle Dad was the early bird this morning, 7:45 a.m. with the first comment. It's when you get to a deeper dive into the numbers, and I actually screenshot the stat head numbers from stat head baseball.
Share it on the screen.
So, well, let me pull it up on the screen then. But it's one of these when you really dive into the numbers itself. It's really they both had these seasons where it's like I said, there was no clear cut winner. And I think the votes were 17-15 in Judge's favor. So like I said, this was not a snub. If
No,
Judge was unanimous
not a snub. No.
or had more than 80% of the vote, then I would have started the show being how baseball disrespected Cal Raleigh. I don't think he was disrespected. 17-13. Thank you, Doran.
It was very close.
Yeah, give it, give us a few more of your thoughts. I'm gonna pull up this image here on StatEd.
Duran, Babe Ruth, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, and Aaron Judge with 450-plus home run seasons. Ohtani will join that club next season, I believe, with 4. That's crazy. Salute to Duran there with that. Tats, how hard could it be to possibly post this a screenshot?
Well, I had to open up a new window because I just had it on my phone.
Click on share screen.
What did I do here? This new computer is really weird. You should see how this came up. Hold on.
Yeah, Duran's right. First season ever by a full-time catcher with 50 home runs. And it was 60 for God's sake. But that just shows how great Aaron Judge is. That Aaron Judge ended up completely engulfing him offensively in every other statistic. So it's really something. It's really something. We can't take for granted what Aaron Judge does on an annual basis. Yeah, he did, Duran. Judge had a cheat code season. He certainly did. And then it's really now on the front office to get over themselves, to see the wood for the trees, and to do things correctly, and build a team for them. It's up to them now. Judge has done his part. It's now on the front office to do theirs. And will they? I have my doubts.
And now, as you can see, I don't know if you can make this bigger. No, can't make it bigger. All right. So you have let's go through these. So you have on the war, you have Judges 9.7 to Raleigh 7.4. That's a significant, that's a big number. Games, Raleigh had them in games by 7, 152 to 159. But in those 7 last games, Judge had 179 hits to Raleigh's 147.
That's insane.
That's a lot of extra hits in less games.
That's
so
insane.
He wasn't, but that says Judge's numbers weren't relying on the home run. So he was more, he was hitting for more contact and putting the ball in play. Which is why, they always said, Judge would have had 4, because he had the power numbers over Altuve. And they had made the argument, look, you can't base the MVP just because you hit more home runs. That's not the only optic that they look at.
Jared Williams in the chat. Salute, Jared. Thanks for hopping on, man.
And that's one of the things that started to aggravate me with the whole thing with, how Raleigh was robbed. Is the voters did this to themselves.
He wasn't robbed at all. Not even.
No.
No.
Well, everybody seems to think he is because Then that was one of the other things, Donald. The East Coast narrative that the reason it was an East Coast bias. They only gave it to him because he's a Yankee, which we know is one of the stupidest narratives that you could put out there, because they don't like giving the Yankees anything. They'll go out of them. That's why Jeter lost to Morneau that year. Jeter was by far a better player.
Absolutely. No, he was completely robbed that year. He was also robbed of unanimous Hall of Fame, which is almost even more egregious.
Yep. Yeah,
so we know this. There's definitely an anti-Yankee bias, and it just shows how great Aaron Judge is that he overwrites most bias. So, and yeah, he was robbed by Altuve. So, for anyone who's saying that Cal Raleigh was robbed and Aaron Judge is still got his 3 MVPs, which he merits anyway. So I think all's fair in that regard now. Let's go back to those stats. Just look at how much the slug and the OPS is better. Tats, read it out. I can't see shit.
So the OPS, Judge is 1.144 to Raleigh's 948.
That's crazy.
OPS plus 215, Raleigh 169.
169 and 215. What? Slug.
688 for Judge, 589 for Raleigh.
688, 580. What are we doing here? It's almost 100-point difference.
See, this is the other one that, because everybody wants to dismiss the batting average. Well, let's go with on base percentage.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge, 457.
He was on base almost 50% of the time.
The Cal Raleigh's 359. You know,
That's ridiculous. So
and this is the other remarkable part of it is Raleigh does have him beat with um, plate appearances. Raleigh had 705. The Judge is 679. So Judge did all of that with less opportunity than Raleigh did.
right, yeah, because he kept intentionally walking them.
But that was going to be my next point. The intentional walks. We have 36 intentional walks this year. You know, managers
Right.
were putting up four fingers, laughing in their dugout, going, "Yeah, you're
Yep.
not beating us. Look at
We
Toronto."
ain't pitching to you, bro. And he still almost got 60 home runs. So if you had
Yeah,
53 and he had how many less plate appearances?
uh, about 26 less plate appearances.
Right. And of course, plus the intentional walks, plus the
Yep,
games he missed, because remember, he missed 7 games.
yep. Yeah,
Um,
and
you add all that together, and Aaron Judge very well could have. Oh, he certainly would have beat 60 home runs. Well, if you think of all those. Plus, remember, don't forget, guys, he was robbed of a home run by the umpires.
in the game in Tampa. Yep.
Yes.
Well, that was the other thing. They're like, well, look at the stadium that he hit in. Well, if it was so easy, if it's so easy to hit home runs at Yankee Stadium, how do you not reach 70?
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I still had the graphic in my phone, but the um the amount of Judge has more career home runs on the road than at Yankee Stadium.
Right. There you go. Um,
So,
it
like
just goes to
Judge,
show.
he's a freak athlete,
Yes.
and what makes him even better above everybody else is he doesn't have to rely on a home run. He doesn't. You see it. The numbers speak for itself.
Just look at his batting average as opposed to rallies.
Judge at 331, Raleigh 247. So if Raleigh would have won, right, then he would have been the first MVP aside from Otani, but Otani's an anomaly. He's that unicorn to get a batting at to win the MVP batting under 250.
Right.
I think Otani had a 248 average.
Yeah. It would have been tough to. It would have been tough to say that Judge isn't the clear MVP if you win the batting average by over like 80 points. That's crazy.
And yeah, and he really didn't have a lot of slumps this year. Like after the first 2 months, he was,
No, he was
they
never
were
out.
comparing his batting average, saying he was better than Ted Williams.
No, he was never out. He was never
Yeah,
out.
he was a big talking point half the year for the Triple Crown. We were all wondering if he was going to, he was very much in contention. If it wasn't for Raleigh, he would have had a Triple Crown by far.
Oh yeah. Oh, he absolutely locked in, nailed on, unbelievable. But yeah, just those statistics, bro. The clear WRC plus, the OPS, the slug, the batting average, the hits. It isn't really that close, really, when you think about it. But yeah, Duran's right. He was betting over 400 for the first 2 months of the year.
Yeah,
You actually thought that maybe he could have done it, but
he was
just because he was just that good. Then he got hurt, but what a season! Definitely deserves the MVP, but I also think that Raleigh deserved to
he deserves a
Yeah,
lot of credit for what he did for the
yeah,
game this year.
exactly. And to be
Yeah.
fair, if they because there could have been a way in which there could have been a tie, and I think you could have made the argument that tie would have been a fair one as well. I don't think you could make the argument that Raleigh deserved the MVP over Aaron Judge. I think that's be a very difficult thing
Well,
to.
the biggest argument, and it's a fair argument, because that was one of my reasons for putting respect on his name. He was doing it as a catcher,
Yeah, I just don't think.
so
But just the way that we broke it down, look at the
y-
stats.
y- but when you
Aaron
look at
Judge has him like dead to rights on 99% of the stats.
yeah, the numbers speak for itself.
Yeah. So, like, I think it would be very hard to make a claim that Raleigh deserved it over Aaron Judge, but you can make a very fair argument if you're a Mariners fan, if you're a baseball fan, to say it should have been a tie at both co MVPs. Like, you could make that argument, and I'm not going to fight you on that. But for Aaron Judge not to get the credit, you can't make that argument. Yankee fan, baseball fan, doesn't matter which fan you are. We're not fanboys. I'm certainly not a fanboy, so I'm not biased in this regard. I don't think you can make the argument that Judge doesn't deserve the MVP. It's an impossible argument. Good luck trying to argue with that. Good luck trying to argue that with me because it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
But you could make the argument that a co MVP, you could certainly make that argument, and I'm not going to fight you on that. But no, Judge deserves it just, but what a year from Cal Raleigh, man! What a year. Uh,
yeah,
I also think that the Mariners should be more classy though than those tweets saying, "Well, he's our MVP." Come on, man. I think there's a way in which you could say, "Thank you, Cal. Congratulations to Aaron Judge." You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. It's a bad. I don't.
I wouldn't say it's a bad look. I just think it's not
Not,
that classy. I think you could probably do
yeah, I don't want to say it's a bad look for them for really hyping their guy. I mean, what do you expect
yeah,
them to
they
do?
have a right to. It's
Yankees
just I
might
think
they could have done the same thing. You don't know.
yeah. Well, we probably would have done the same thing, but um, I still think there's probably a way in which you could have done it where you still give praise to the actual MVP. Congratulations to Aaron Judge, but this is our guy.
Yeah,
Raleigh, you were amazing, something like that. But anyway, it's very it's a very small criticism, but what a year, man! What a year! And what did you
you
think of what Aaron Judge had to say upon winning?
oh, you know, you say one. I think the dog stole the interview.
We love that.
Um, yeah, no, he's. I like that it was announced by Mattingly. I want to say that.
Yep.
And look, Judge, he's just a humble guy. He really there's no ego to him. And I think that's what's always when he speaks that stands out to me the most.
Shall we hear what the great Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone have to say upon uh, the award? Let's do that. Statement regarding Aaron Judge from Yankees senior VP and GM Brian Cashman. Aaron has been playing in rarefied air for much of his career. His devotion to his craft, his continuous pursuit of excellence, and the importance he places on being a teammate who can be counted on helped define his legacy just as much as his 3 MVP awards. He is a once in a generation player who embodies so much of what is good about our game. Aaron is being celebrated again tonight, and rightfully so. He has blossomed into one of sports' greatest superstars. To be fair, that was actually a very, very good statement
Yeah, I
from
think
Brian
it's
Cashman. I don't think there's anything that you could even like look at. Like he's nailed it here. He's a once in a generation player, spot on. He also embodies so much of what is good about our game. He's spot on about that because Aaron Judge is a phenomenal professional. I don't think that there's a better pro in baseball. He's just such a pro. Um, and his continuous pursuit of excellence, and that just goes to show because he had that 62 home run season. He's actually become a better player since then. Um, it's just like whatever he wants to focus on, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna win the batting title this year, and he just goes and does it. He's just that type of player, man. He's just kind of like he's just got that. Yeah, he's once in a generation talent. He's kind of like what LeBron James is, or Kobe Bryant. Just that type of player. Tom Brady. Whatever way you want, whatever sport, he's in that conversation just because of his pursuit of excellence. And here's Aaron Boone, Aaron Judge's best friend. I know I say this often when meeting with our media throughout the season, but I don't ever want to become desensitized by the consistency and the enormity of his accomplishments. It's becoming increasingly difficult for me to use words to capture how good he is. He's just playing at a higher level and has been for quite some time. That's fair. Has been an absolute privilege to watch Aaron's ascension. He's already fashioned a career that matches up with the all-time greats. I see it every single day, and I think it's critical to acknowledge the work that Aaron puts in to maintain his inconceivable level of excellence as a player. It's very well put. While we are in awe of everything he does between the lines, he's beloved in our clubhouse for how he embraces his role as captain, prioritizing the needs and success of the team above himself. I'm thrilled to see Aaron acknowledged again in this way. Congratulations, AJ. Listen, congratulations to Aaron Judge, and also salute to Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman. Those were two very, very excellently written, very astute, and eloquently written posts about Aaron Judge. Like they really put a lot of heart and thought into that.
It was a very classy way to praise, to pat themselves on the back for him being on the team.
Absolutely. And say what you want about their, some of the mistakes they make, but that was
when they get it right, we'll admit it.
Yeah, no, that was 10 out of 10. You couldn't written a better statement if you're Aaron Boone or Brian Cashman.
Now, here's something I want to add to the show today. All right, the awards week that they do, when they spread it out. Are they missing the mark to have like an actual awards night where they just get do it all in one? Almost like have it something like that. Why not?
That could actually be fun.
I think that would be received very well by the sporting community.
To be fair, I think you'd probably get viewership.
Yeah, they're always wanting to bring attention to their sport.
Yeah, you get the Gold Glove, you get the Cy Young.
It's just a public announcement with a quick little video. No, have them walk up to a podium. I think that would be. I think that would make it a lot more fun. Because it's spread out so long of when they announce everything, you don't even remember which awards were given out.
Do you know what? It's a really good idea. Could you be the GM? Could you be the commissioner of MLB?
I'm trying.
Really good take, Tats. I think that's a lot of fun. I think that would get some viewership. I think it would bring some interest level. It'd be like, an hour-long show. And
like MLB has their own network. They can't put it together.
You get Cy Young, you get the Silver Slugger, you get the Gold Glove, you get the Platinum Glove, and then you need, and then you get the MVP announced at the end. Not a bad take, man. I think there would be a lot of interest. I think
we're onto something here.
Yeah. Well, no, you're onto that, man. I didn't even consider that. So, yeah.
No,
definitely.
And you have it on MLB. You a lot of these teams have their own networks. You give them the rights to broadcast it as well. Because not everybody has the MLB network. I think that's something. I think you know what? I'm putting that in the book. So, once I get the job as the commissioner, I can go back and be like, this is what we're going to do.
I don't want to know what you do behind the scenes with your dog, John the Beagle Dad. Right, so right, let's move on, my guy.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Um, let's talk about what Aaron Judge said upon winning the award. He said that he would trade every award for a championship, more or less. That's what he said.
And I absolutely believe him.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Absolutely no doubt. He says here, I think I'd trade every award I've gone and every All-Star appearance for an opportunity to win a championship.
Did you hear that, Brian Cashman?
Yep. I mean, to be honest, he's just put Brian Cashman on the lap.
Yeah. Yeah, Cashman's on the clock now. This is the face of your organization. One of the faces of baseball, because I don't think there could be just one. And yeah, and Lou, you're right. I think he realizes that window's closing. He's not getting any younger. And if there is this lockout, he's going to lose a year. They're all going to come back a year older with no playing time.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're running the risk of, all right, now people got to shake the rust off, because they could do all the outside drill workouts at the little league ballparks all they want. It's much different when you're getting into that competition, on an actual playing field, and it's in an MLB stadium. It's different. It's like swinging at the batting cage. It's not like taking, with live BP. It's a lot different than in the game.
Yeah.
So they have to do something quick. That's why I think this. I know we say this every freaking year, and it pisses me off that we have to say it. But Cashman has got to get it right. They got to put some protection around Judge.
Please do something. If they just finish off with just Cody
how about they start with a legitimate?
I'm going to be so done.
How about they start with a legitimate leadoff hitter to get on base in front of them?
Well, they're some positive news there is apparently they're having conversations regarding Brandon Donovan.
I like the name Stephen Kwan.
Yeah, I actually prefer Donovan. I think Donovan's a better player, but I would certainly take Kwan as well. But yeah, I like that they're having that conversation. Apparently, they were very interested in him in July. Donovan would be amazing. You stick him at the top of the lineup, and now you're really starting to put something together.
I believe his name came up a lot during our deadline talks.
Yeah, no, like he's great. I know that NYYU really swear by him as well. I think a lot of Yankee content creators have been beating the Donovan drum, and we're certainly one of them too. So I think that would be a really astute pickup if I were the Yankees to make that trade. He plays second base. I think he's a pretty versatile player, though, to be fair. I would probably stick him in the outfield too. I would love some Donovan. I think it would be great. So that's something. But I also want a power righty bat. That's what I want. So we'll see. But I'll tell you what, if the Yankees just extend Cody Bellinger for 7 years at like 28 to 30 million per year and just some utility guys and call it a day, I'm out.
Yep. No, they
can't keep doing this to Aaron Judge, man, because it's a waste of his talent. It's a waste of our time because they can't win like this as constituted. They just got annihilated. But why are they so happy to roll it back? They got annihilated. They lost the division. They ended up as a wild card and then got annihilated in the DS. Annihilated. And they were like, roll it back. Like, what are we doing here? Aaron Judge just won the MVP, and instead of talking about his own accomplishments, he's not interested in his accomplishments. He's wanting a Yankee accomplishment. He's wanting a championship. Please, do right by this guy. Do right by us. Do right by the Yankee history. Spend some freaking money. Be the Yankees. Be the Yankees of old. Put your dicks on the table and be like, we're the fucking Yankees. Can we get back to that? What are we doing here?
I want to post on social media on the Chronicles account, that being with Randy Marsh, where he's got the wheelbarrow with his big balls.
Exactly. Be Randy Marsh.
And I want to post that with compliments to Cashman and Hal that they actually found the set again. I can't wait for that to happen. I was ready to do that for Soto. If they're able to put a team together that wins the World Series for Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole, I'd like to see him win win as a Yankee. But Judge more. Judge is the homegrown guy.
Yeah.
I can't wait. But no, it's but I like I said, I don't have the faith that Cashman's going to do it.
No, I don't either.
I don't. Because I think that this whole thing with the budget's going to get in the way, and I don't want to crap on such a positive show. But it's we're Yankee fans. It's always all right. That's in the past. What are you going to do for us in the future? But I think next week's shows. I think we should take a little dive into what the trade market looks like. And
did you pay attention to what Brian Cashman said in his little interview with the reporters? He looked like Uncle Junior from The Sopranos.
How do you say it?
You look like Uncle Junior.
Oh man.
We'll bring that up in the next show. You look like Uncle Junior, and but he did say that he hasn't been told what the budget is, which means I don't know. You can take it either way. It means that Hal's maybe not got his Wi-Fi fixed yet in his latest yacht, or maybe he's actually not that bothered about payroll. So it could be one of the two. And hopefully it's the latter, and we can spend some serious fucking money.
Yeah, there's still a lot of topics on the docket for us. So make sure you stay tuned as we get a deeper dive into everything. But that is going to wrap things up for us today. A little short of a show, but believe me, there's always a lot to talk about. But
and 8 p.m. tonight, I'll be joining Chris Paizola on his show.
Yep. So Donald, tell everybody. Let's get everybody on board with that.
Yeah. Well, just pay attention to your X links once. But at 8 p.m. I'll be joining Chris Paizola, and on what we'll be talking Yankees, doing a full deep dive, the whole shebang. Oh, there's that dinosaur saying hello, posing like from the Jurassic Park.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, check that out. 8 p.m. I'll repost the YouTube link for you guys.
Yeah, look for it on our socials. We'll post the channel link.
Yeah.
And Chris is a great friend of the show. We've known him for a long time. He's also a very personal friend of ours. So we couldn't wait to get the opportunity to help him out. Unfortunately, I have to work. Otherwise, it would have been the both of us.
But Tats will hopefully pop on at some point, maybe.
Yeah, I'll be in the chat. But definitely gonna miss not being on screen. That's gonna suck. But with that, make sure you do check Donald out on on the show with Chris tonight. And make sure you also hit that like button, hit that sub button, share this out, your friends, your family, the stranger on the corner. This is the Pitchfork Chronicles. I'm Uncle Tats with Donald. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your football. Wear those pinstripes of pride and play hard.
Congrats to Aaron Judge, number 62.